Welcome back. Now, when you think about failures, lost identity, and career goals, or maybe future ambitions, these two groups definitely know how to give you insight on how to be the better version of yourself. So please make some noise for Crossover and Therapy Without a Degree. My boy put out that pink coat. I like that.
You know, I knew Dre Love was gonna be here, so you know I had to, you know what I mean? Had to compete.
Oh man, you know, thanks. It's all good, man. Thanks for stopping by. You know, Nat, you're here. I know you couldn't be to the first one, but it's okay. But for people that don't know, that I started with Crossover, and I want to thank you guys so much, you know, for joining you guys. But tell the people, what Crossover's about and when you was established.
Crossover basically is a story of like how I grew up, like crossing over from basically not having parents, growing up kind of like just looking for acceptance, love, and all that, and just having somebody finally coming into my life and believing in me. So that's how Crossover kind of expanded into me, somebody pouring into me, and then me getting to be that opportunity for young men like you in the city. So,
right, appreciate it. Thank you. Now, Therapy Without a Degree, you guys have an interesting message, because the title itself makes you, really wonder what do they mean by Therapy Without a Degree, man? But you guys definitely have an interesting message. I was on your show. Thanks for having me. But
of course, man.
You guys do Throwback Failure Thursday in the city, but tell us a little bit about that and how does that come about?
Yeah, Throwback Failure Thursday is basically we go out to the city, we interview people, we go out there every other week. We just ask people what's something that they failed at and what is something that they learned from it. Because I wanted to embrace failures. Every single one of us, no matter how successful you are, no matter how broke you are, whatever, we all fail, right? But just me going through adversity and going through trials and tribulations in my life, I've noticed that every time I failed, I really did learn something. And a lot of times we don't look at it, we don't notice it until maybe, when it's too late, or maybe we never do at all. So I kind of just wanted to embrace that and flip it and put it on YouTube, put it on all these platforms so people can see it and be like, wow, I'm not the only one that's failing at that. Or maybe this is something I failed at and I can learn something from it.
That's good. Thank you. So I see you recruiting that. And boy, Zain, how did you guys meet? Let's start off with that. How did each meet?
So what people don't know is me and Joe, we went to middle school together and whatnot.
Way back.
Way back.
Way
then
back.
when we linked up in years later in college, he was, I started my magazine and he was mentioning he has a podcast and he brought me on. So I was a guest first, and then then we started talking and whatnot. He helped me with my vision board, helped me expand because I wanted to travel more, and I ended up doing that months later. So then I eventually became a guest, a host on the show. So then we were just me and him just rocking it for a few months. I was like, yo, we need a third person. We gotta bring my friend Nat. Let's bring on as a guest, and then we'll see how that goes. First guest appearance that she made, she killed it, and then Joe's like, nah, we gotta have her, man. Yeah. We gotta bring her on the show.
Right after.
Well, yeah, basically, I got on the podcast through essentially through you. But before I was even on the podcast, I was hardcore listening to it. And I'm an artist. I'm a tattoo artist, and so sometimes I just need something to listen to. So I was listening to the podcast, and I just really enjoyed the message. So I would message him paragraphs listen, this is what I think about this, and this happened to me, or maybe you should approach it this way or whatever. And we just were talking back and forth, and then before you knew it, he was like, hey, come on the show. And I went on, and I had never went on anything like that before, behind cameras. Most of the conversations that I have had on the show up to date have been conversations I've had with my clients one-on-one, real intimate conversation. So I'd never had an opportunity to actually put it in that way, that format. So actually getting on, I was like, oh, I could do this. This isn't as scary as it looks, being on the other side of it, and I just fell in love, and plus, they're great guys, so I can't complain.
That's good, yeah.
Thank you.
Now, what people don't know is that you also have another cast member. Fortunately, he's not here. His name is Tay. But the crazy thing about it is I never met this guy.
No.
Not physically, no.
How did that come about? Like you having another cast member you never really met before?
Well, I started this with two other people, and then I went through a transition pretty much like a year after. You know, we went through personal differences, right? So then it was just me. And I was doing a couple episodes dolo right before he came on. And Tay just reached out, DM'd me. He's like, yo, can I come on the show? I said, yeah. We kicked it. We had an amazing episode. And he's like, yo, can I come on again? And
He was reaching too much.
no, not at all. No, it's like we just literally had a real genuine dope conversation on the
Right.
podcast. So it was all genuine, and then it was just like, all right, man, yeah, you gotta come on the episode.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. Now, Jock, you know, you're constantly dealing with the youth almost every month. And what is something you feel like you learned from each and every person throughout your time at Crossover?
Well, I've learned a lot, just mainly because I can relate to a lot of the guys, because most of the guys that come, Crossover is basically, we help young men and women with honor and integrity. We help them understand their identity in Christ. It is faith-based, but what I've learned is that each kid needs somebody to believe in them. So I believe that if we have somebody in their lives, like, I don't care how bad or what they're going through, they need somebody to just support them. And what Crossover does, we use basketball as a tool to get them in, and then we try to build relationships with each kid.
That's how I met you guys.
And once we build a relationship, we win the right to be heard in their lives by hanging with them. If they play sports, we go to their games. We go bowling. We do something called 29 Days, where it's a small group setting where we just kick it. We eat together like a family, and then we talk about, you know, things that we probably are facing, but we get beyond the surface. And Dejour is a prime example.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
You know, just seeing what he's got going on here, just Crossover works, and I believe that if we could do it in every state, that's the goal, to just help uplift and encourage these young men.
Yeah.
So one day they could be fathers and husbands one day and all that good stuff.
That's good. Now, Therapy Without a Degree, you know, I know you guys film every week, correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Do you guys, besides my show, do you guys go on other shows and, you know, talk about your journey, or is it just, you guys are just to yourselves and some stuff?
Little by little, you know, we've been getting there. That's something we've been doing more. We did a couple, I personally did a couple. We've collectively done a few. That's something we're going to be, you know, starting now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. And do you guys, what season are you guys in again?
3.
3 seasons. How many episodes would you say you have done each and every season?
140. Well, we've done in total now 140 episodes.
God damn.
It's a lot.
140?
Yeah, 140.
Oh man, I'm not even close to that. I need to catch up. Make some noise for them one good time, man. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we have Girls Production and Adley hitting the stage, so don't go nowhere, and we'll be right back.